Welcome to This Week Inside Sim Racing, late September edition. I'm Darren Ganji with my good buddy,
Sean Cole.
And This Week Inside Sim Racing is sponsored by iRacing.com, and you can get a new membership by going to our website, InsideSimRacing.tv, and clicking on the banner on any page at our site. And we're going to start consolidating these shows a little bit because they've been getting a little long in the tooth.
Yeah.
Last one was over 30 minutes. So we're going to get to the point, get to it so we can get more of these out and get to more of our other shows. So First up,
for all you out there who might own a Thrustmaster T500, there is a new driver and firmware that came out last week. And this is actually a pretty big step up for this wheel. It actually changes the latency that has been optimized from 125 Hertz up to 500 Hertz.
Yeah, that's a big jump. And changes to the driver include what the driver is called 3TTRS_2012. It solved a problem that appeared when users attempted to save the force effects in the control panel. And they strongly recommend updating your wheel with these new versions, and you'll find them at the Thrustmaster Tech Support website. And we're going to have a link here in the description of this show.
In addition to that, it actually worked on some of the self-calibration things as well, so it kind of optimized that feature of the wheel as well.
Yep, and a little hint for you, I tried it with the self-updater and it didn't seem to pick up that firmware. So go to the link in our description, grab it there, update it with that software. Actually, if you have the driver already loaded and you click on that exe, it wipes off the old driver first. Then you got to click on the exe again to load the driver and then do the firmware. So make sure you follow all the instructions and you should be good to go. Next up, the annual GTR 24-hour LAN event in Denmark is coming up, and it's due to kick off on October 26th. And the guys have prepared an introduction video to explain the event in depth, and we're rolling it for you here. We're going to have a link also to that in our description.
Held in Denmark each year, the GTR 24-hour race is probably the world's biggest sim racing LAN event. And we actually did a piece on this event back when we first started the show.
Yeah, so that was about 4 years ago, and it was like our first satellite report that we had done. They'd contacted us and asked us if we wanted to report about it on the show, and we did. And actually, I think we even did a post-race report.
Yeah.
Talking about who won, and man, I would love, we've never done something like that.
We always wanted to be a part of something just like that.
We've never been part of a big sim racing LAN event, so man, it would be a blast. I mean, I wish we were close enough to Denmark so we could participate.
Or had the budget.
Yep. So to find out more about the event or participate or find out how to enter, check out the video we have playing, and we have a full link in our description below in this show, or visit the GTR 24-hour website at www.gtr24h.dk.
Very nice.
Yep.
So next up on the show, we have two different pieces of software that can be used as external displays while driving. The first one comes to us from Russell Hodgson, who made the Z1 sim wheel dash that Darren has. He's now made a software-only version that works as an overlay for those of us who don't have Darren's cool display, but want the software that goes with it.
Yeah, and you can actually run it on an external display as well, like iSpeed or something like that. So if you wanted a small external monitor, you can do that. It's compatible with iRacing, ARCA, rFactor 1 and 2, Game Stock Car, and Kart Racing Pro. And it has all the functionality that my dash has.
In addition to that, you can monitor your fuel consumption, your telemetry, and all the dash functions. It goes for $49, and it's available at z1simwheel.com/dashboard. And it's well worth the purchase if you were considering an external tack or other options.
So yeah, if you were considering building an external tack box, like the one we have sitting back here, tack and light box, and because we spent over $100 on that. And you're running triple screens and you need that access, or you want to be able to see your tack because you've changed your field of view like we do, then it's worth the $49, I'd say.
Absolutely.
So last up on the first half of the show, Sean mentioned another external display, and this one's called the iRDDU, and it's for iRacing only, and it's free, and it was created by a guy named Paul Thurston. It enables iRacers with small external USB screens to display data from iRacing, just like a tack.
To check it out, you can go to iRDDU.com and download it for free, or make a donation and be part of the beta program that they have going on there.
Yep.
So that's going to wrap things up for the first half. We told you it was going to be short and sweet and right to the punch. When we come back, we're gonna have Sim Rig of the Week, and John Hill's back with another rear view mirror right after this.
Does a real race car have a center post? Of course not, and neither should your race rig. The R-Seat Evo V3 with its unique design has no center post. The R-Seat Evo replicates what you would be accustomed to in your daily driver or something you may take to the track. It can accommodate drivers from 4'11" up to over 6'6" tall and is pre-drilled for all of the major wheel manufacturers on the market today. When it comes to performance, look no further than the R-Seat Evo V3. Check out the R-Seat Evo and other sim racing equipment by heading to www.rseat.net.
Welcome back to the second half of the show, and first up on this half of the show is the Sim Rig of the Week, sponsored by TamiyahUSA.com. For the finest models and RC cars in the world, go to TamiyahUSA.com. And this week, it's been a while since we've done this, so it's actually like this month's, the Sim Rig of the month. Actually, this one kind of deserves it because it's pretty friggin' awesome.
This is definitely a labor of love.
Yep, and it was created by a guy named Matthew Boyer, and this was actually featured in Popular Mechanics website, and he supplied us with a ton of pictures in our forum. We're gonna have a link to that in the description here as well. And it's not completely finished in the state that you see it here. Future plans are to upholster the entire enclosure with fabric, and the interior will be done with faux leather and suede. Interesting, because now he's got that original rig look that I had. No paint, just let's get it together and start racing.
Matthew's overall goal with the project was to build something out of wood and come in at the equivalent price of a rig that you could buy. He spent $240 on the wood, $100 on the seat, for a total of $340, not including the price of all the screws that he probably put into that rig.
Looks like there's quite a few screws.
Yeah.
So he's running a Fanatic Elite package, it looks like. Elite wheel, Elite pedals, that he inverted himself. That's his own inversion kit, or build, you can say. Everything is built into this thing nicely. So he obviously spent some time, you know, getting the monitor in place, the sound system, all that stuff.
All the cables.
Yep, and he's built it mainly for consoles. You know, single monitor console games, plans on doing more in the future, but was on a tight budget, wanted a place for his wheel and pedals, and how cool.
Very, very cool. You know, we've seen rooms that were turned into sim rigs, and we've seen sim rigs that closed down into boxes. This is the first time I've seen like an entire box that was dedicated to being a sim rig, and everywhere it's finished. I mean, it's like, you can't see daylight through this thing other than the door, it seems.
And it reminds me of like those old arcade style consoles. So I'm assuming that was what he had in mind when he first started. But very cool, Matthew. Thanks for sharing it with us, and looking forward to seeing when that thing is finished. You know, with the leather and the you know, all the stuff in the interior. So
he needs the graphics on the side, like the old school arcade games.
Yeah, that would be cool. Actually, I think we need to build a box setup like that next.
That'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Arcade style.
Yep. Next up, our good buddy John Hill came up here to Spokane Valley last month to visit. And while he was here, he had a rear view mirror with him. So let's hand it over to John Hill for another rear view mirror.
You know how when people grow up, make a little money, and buy a second car just for fun, they always go for the car they lusted after in their youth. I think it's the same way for race fans. I still love the race cars I used to watch when I first discovered racing. So in sports car racing, it was the Ford GT40s and Ferrari P4s at Le Mans, and in Formula One, it was a Lotus 49 of Jim Clark and the Ferrari 312 of Lorenzo Bandini. As a sim racer, I feel fortunate. There are so many different ways I can relive those glory years when motors were more important than aerodynamics. And because aerodynamics were largely an imperfect science, the cars of that era tended to be unique in appearance, and some say beautiful, and not at all like the cookie cutter cars we see today driving around synthetic, purpose-built tracks. There are vintage race cars scattered all through the sims available today. And right now, I'm driving the Ground Effects Lotus 79 in the Classic Team Championship in iRacing. And when iRacing makes the Lotus 49 available, I'll run that too. I already know the history of those cars. Now, if you're thinking about trying some of the vintage race cars and the sims you own, my suggestion would be to read up on or watch these cars in action. There is a wealth of available film and video out there on the internet and in the printed word. The more you know about these cars and their pilots, the more you'll appreciate the talent and the bravery it took these drivers to master these beautiful machines. Until next time, I'm John Hill, and I hope to see you in my rear view mirror.
So it's been a while, but it's great to have John Hill back on the show. You know, he's got a different way of looking at things. Not the same as you and I, that's for sure.
That's for sure, and it's great to have his different outlook on the show.
Yeah, definitely. So that's pretty much going to do things for today. One thing we do want to announce before we get out of here is that we have a new poll, and we've been talking a lot about some new sims on the horizon. And so this new poll basically is, which sim has the most hope? Which one are you out there most faithful of that's really going to deliver what they're promising?
Yeah, we've got Assetto Corsa, Project Cars, R Factor 2, Race Room Experience, Kart Racing Pro, and Kart Sim. Think I named them all?
That's a lot of sims. Did you?
I think I did. I think I got them all. So yeah, we want to see what you guys think has the most promise for upcoming. Project Cars isn't due till next year, but you can try it now. But yeah, I'd like to see what you guys think. And last, we've got our special event coming up in November. Last show we told you it was going to be the K&N or iRacing National Car at Rockingham, and that's definitely going to be the case. And we happened to look at the real Rockingham schedule, and I think it was just kind of a lucky fluke that the K&N National Car is at Rockingham in November, so
Gotta love that.
what a perfect combo.
Yeah, so we're gonna do 200 laps at Rockingham. That's gonna be crazy and a ton of fun. We're gonna have a ton of prizes to give away for this event as well. And we know Rockingham's getting pretty close because it's now available for pre-order, $14.95. So if you wanna get a jump on everybody, you can get that and start practicing, I guess.
On another subject really quick, speaking of pre-order, they've got the Lotus 49 for pre-order now and Oran Park as well. So those three pieces of content are right around the corner for iRacing. I'm looking forward to all three.
Good stuff.
So that's going to wrap it up on this week Inside Sim Racing late September edition. Make sure you visit our website at InsideSimRacing.tv to keep up to date with all of our new shows. Join our forums. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Inside Sim Racing. For Sean Cole, I'm Darren Ganji. We'll see you guys next time.